This beautiful Aussie film from 1997 has an enormous international cast, but it's one of those instances where the many American, Dutch, Asian, and British actors are representative of the story it's telling. Bruce Beresford made Paradise Road in tropical North Queensland in 1997, Australian jungles standing in for Malaysia and Sumatra, the film being about the women inhabitants of a Japanese prisoner of war camp during World War II. As the film opens, we're in Singapore and the Japanese are just about to invade the city. And so we meet some of our cast in their civilian lives as wives, socialites, nurses, teachers. But soon after the invasion, we see them as prisoners for much of the rest of the war in fairly miserable conditions. The one shining light through this time is the choir they start. The power of music and the community they form through it is helping them through the awful times. This is based on a true story. The cast is huge. Pauline Collins, Glenn Close, Frances McDormand, Jennifer Eel, Juliana Margulies amongst the international cast. Amongst the Aussies, Kate Blanchett in I think it was her third screen role, Pauline Chan, Penny Hackforth-Jones. That huge cast of names must have been, frankly, a challenge for Beresford and his team to manage. But I have to say, this is a film that proves there are no small parts. The women are in factions in the camp based on their nationalities or their ethnicities or how compliant they are with their Japanese captors or where they are mentally or physically. And so just an eyebrow or a sideways look from even the smallest background player conveys a novel full of meaning. It's a triumph of the spirit kind of film that just screams Oscar, but it was ignored completely by the AFI Awards in 1997 and 1998. I've been researching, but I just haven't discovered why. It is certainly better than getting no nominations for anything. It had a budget of $25 million. That is a huge amount of money for a film production, even today, but it took only $2 million at the Australian box office and only $2 million at the US. Maybe the producers were busy keeping their heads down and hiding from their investors and so didn't bother filling out the AFI nomination paperwork. Who knows? The BBC made a brilliant series on the same subject in the late 70s called Tenko. There's a wonderful Aussie play called The Shoehorn Sonata that follows some of these women back to Australia decades later. I love Paradise Road. It's very emotive storytelling, and I fall for that stuff every time. So many war films are male stories, but of course, war happens to everybody.